Hi everyone, this is Liz from Creative Life of Liz, and I'm here to share my August book Bujo or reading journal setup. So before we do that, I do want to go through briefly where we're at so far in the year. So it's just the cover page, and then to start out with, had another pretty good reading month so far in July. Today is the 26th. When I'm recording this, so still a few days left in the month. I'm also still keeping up with my reading goals, which is also great. And then Read the Rainbow, I finished that. I'm doing pretty well on my buzzword challenge, so hopefully I can keep remembering to fill that out. August I think is going to be a challenge just because it's going to be a busy reading month, but hopefully I can find something with a body part that's not weird. On the Pop Sugar Challenge, still making pretty good progress here, just a couple left. In terms of things that I have left, I would love some recommendations for books written during NaNoWriMo. I feel like I might have read some and I just don't realize it, so I would love to know books that you know were written then, because that would really help me there. On Romanceopoly, I'm starting to get, I think, a hair behind where I wanted to be, but still making decent progress here, so I think I'm going to be able to finish this before the end of the year as well. And then I'm going to skip ahead here. This is my June book stats. This is where I left off with you guys before here. So it was a pretty good reading month, 35 books, 9,700 pages, so definitely very productive reading month, which I thought was really nice. My favorite book was Mortal Follies by Alexis Hall. I read that as an ARC, so that's always exciting if I read an advanced book and have it turn out to be my favorite book of the month. Overall, pretty decent split, at least on own voices. Not perfect, but still pretty decent. I'd love to get to kind of like 50-50 more or less, but I think this was still like 40% own voices, which is, I think, still overall pretty good, and pretty good mix of types of books. I had Kindle Unlimited for June, so you can very much tell that with my format here. Moving into July, this was probably my favorite cover page I've ever made. It took forever, but it turned out so cute, and I really love it. I do still have a couple of my Romanceopolies to try to finish. I'm not sure if I'm going to finish both of these this month. I'm going to try to get at least one more done, and then see how it's going. So when we get to August, I will figure that out. I still need to read my Agatha Christie for the month as well. And then moving into other things, here's a page of books I was reading. I did Summerween, so I read 5 books, 1 for each prompt, called that good, and did Summerween there. Some of these were kind of more like murder mysteries than like true horror thriller kind of vibes, but I read kind of a mix in terms of areas, so some more lighthearted, some more dark, and then one was a nonfiction, so I think that was also kind of fun. It was about the Golden State Killer, so I thought that was still very appropriate for Summerween. And then the rest of this is just more books I've been reading. I was really going through this Irons and Works series by E.M. Lindsay. Really enjoyed especially the first few books. 2 and 3 were my favorite. I think probably the second one was my overall favorite, Blank Canvas, but I did really enjoy that whole series, and I read all of the kind of main books in that main series. I did not read the spin-off or all the novellas, but I read all the main books this month. And then here's where I'm at right now. Still have a little bit of space left for these last few days in the month. I think this should be enough space, and then I left space here for my July book stats. So that's where I'm at so far, and then we can move into my August setup. So for August, I decided to go with more of a pattern than an actual like design element. I pulled out 4 of these I Buy Am fine liners. I pulled out this kind of like, it reminds me of like those caramel candies, but that color, this pink color. And then 2 shades of yellow, a brighter one and a lighter one. I'm going to use the pink as kind of my main color of the month, so I'm just going to stick that in my cup so that I don't forget. But I ended up making this kind of design. I can't even tell how much you can see on on screen, but it's this kind of design where I just did the diagonals of each box and then filled in like little boxes inside those boxes. I don't know about you guys, but I did a lot of these kinds of designs when I was growing up, just kind of doodling them in class and things like that. So yeah, that's what I decided to do over here, and it's just a gradient from the kind of caramel color through pink, through the orangey yellow, through the lighter yellow. Here, it's not a perfect gradient, but I do think that it actually looks pretty cute, especially on camera. And then I put this large capital A. I wrote this stuff in black with these Mean Show fine liners. I used the 1.0 millimeter, and then I used the 2.5 millimeter brush pen just to fill in here. This was just kind of like a serif font vibe that I thought I would go in. The lines are maybe like a little too skinny here, but I think it turned out pretty cute. And then I just wrote a little August in kind of a cursive font here, just freehanded that as well. So excited to have this design. It did take a little bit of time, but it was very mindless, so it was nice to get some other things done simultaneously. And then over here, I just did like one little 2x2 square of this design in a couple of the colors. And then this is my Romanceopoly. I left space, like I put in 4 dots. There's enough space I could add a 5th if I want to, so I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna add a 5th, but I might just stick to 4 because I have busy readathon plans. And then this is my priorities for the month. I know for sure I'm gonna stick in whatever the next Agatha Christie is in publication order. And then I'm still trying to decide if I'm gonna continue with the First Law along. The First Law trilogy was not my favorite, so I can't decide if I wanna read the standalones that are coming after. The next one is very war focused, which I'm not sure is my kind of vibe. So still something I'm thinking about. Let me know if they start getting better and more interesting. I think the next one is Best Served Cold or something like that. So we'll see how that goes. Haven't decided. Otherwise, I'm not sure I have any other priorities. I might have an arc or two, but we'll figure that out and put that in there as well. And then I decided to participate in 2 month-long readathons this month. So hopefully that's not gonna be a disaster. First off, I'm doing the magical readathon. I decided to be more extra than I probably should be, and I'm going for the Alchemist Calling. So that's 14 books to read. So I wrote down all 14 of my required reads. Hopefully I can get these all done. Reading 14 books in a month is not usually bad for me. As you can see from my previous month's reading, it's really just a risk of, am I going to read a lot of really thick books, and also what's going to happen with the other readathon and how much that's going to throw this off. But I'm hoping that it's going to work out. I did leave this little space here. Maybe I'll participate in part of a quest or one of the kind of like side bonus certifications or something like that. If for some reason this is going better than I thought it would, we shall see. And then the other one that I'm working on this month, the other readathon, is the Amazing Readathon. I'm going to link both these readathons down below. But this one is one where I don't know any prompts yet. We're going to find those out as we go. So I'm on the blue team. I know that much. And that is all I've really got so far. So I have filled in nothing else. I should probably fill in what my banked amount is at some point, but I will figure that out. I'm not too worried. The first prompt will get posted on the 31st of July, so then I'll be able to start getting going, but I'm just going to fill in the prompts and what I'm reading for them on these 2 pages. And then hopefully that's the right amount of space. And then the following page is where I'm going to start tracking the reads that I have for the month. So that's pretty much my plan for this month. So as always, please like and subscribe below if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. It helps me out. Let me know down below what you're excited to read in August, or if you have any suggestions for any of the prompts that I'm working on. Love to hear that as well, or just leave me a summary emoji to stop by and say hi. I would love to just hear from you. And then follow me on Instagram at Creative Life of Liz. You can see in progress and finished spreads of my main planner, this planner, bits and pieces of my life, what I'm reading, all that good stuff. And until next time, bye.